How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to the Cosmic Ray channel. I'm your host, Cosmic Ray. And tonight, just in case, depending on when I post this and you're wondering like what happens or the amount of energy or anything, I'm utilizing what I like to call some of the full moon magic energy into this. I don't know if I'm going to delve this into my candle love, candle magic divinations. Um, However, I feel like right now I'm guided for certain things. Excuse me. As always, I try to keep everything organic as possible, and so I don't really do too many of edits. Gratitude and appreciation, loving of life, in a sense, appreciation of like where you came from and what you're going to be doing. Not necessarily try to totally focus on the future in a sense, but just knowing that you're going to be doing good things, great things, things for the collective. Now, some say with like even law of attraction, or of other things, you kind of just put it out that intention, with your heart or soul desires. Now, I know those are kind of like tough words because some say, oh, well, don't desire something, don't want something, don't feel like you need something. And don't get me wrong, I feel it's one of those, whatever works for you to kind of set those intentions. Now, I know when sometimes you say, well, if you need it, that says like you lack it, or is it coming from a place of lack versus, like, oh, I want this. It's coming from a place of lack because you don't have it. You're supposed to act like you already have it, kind of thing, right? Um, so this video is not necessarily about law of attraction, but I just wanted to kind of give a kind of cosmic ray experience kind of thing, and it's almost like someone else's experience. But I've realized that sometimes subconsciously, you jinx yourself. And that's, it's unfortunate because you're not really trying to, because you're like, oh, I would love to have so much money. Just saying that because I know a lot of people like to think about that. Not saying you have to or you believe in all that stuff. Trust me, there was a point in my spiritual awakening where I was like, money, what's money? F money. Oh my God, this society and money. Like, blah, 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 blah. But, technically, this moment, in time, that is what we use to currency, and that's, unfortunately, we don't do too much trading off of things, as or barter system, and in a sense, I always felt like, oh, all these people who are online making money and using their spirituality, blah, 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 to make money. That's not what that's about. But, you kind of realize it's not necessarily that, or they're trying to like steal money or do that. Kind of like the universe paying you back for trying to help others, lift up their life condition. And I realized, lately, as part of like what I obviously wanted to talk about, was like, when you set that intention out there, and if it's something that's something you feel like a passion in a sense, about, and if it's something where this particular passion, can help out others, and if this passion that can help out others, can help you, but it also has something that the world somewhat needs in a sense, then that could definitely bring back, good fortune and, I guess in a sense, manifesting, those things coming back, at you, some, somewhat like a karmic type of thing, some of it more like a law of attraction kind of thing. Um, so like, example, if it was one of those like, I'm going to be, this is just hypothetical, like, I want to be like a nurse or something, or a doctor or something in healthcare, I guess. Of course, obviously, when you think of it, you're like, ooh, this person's gonna get paid fat, they're gonna get paid money. And, but yes, but in a sense, but if their passion is they truly want to do that because they truly want to help others, and not just like for like that money, in a sense, it's kind of like an afterthought. It's like their true passion is trying to help someone first, right? Yeah. And then as an afterthought, it's like the money comes in because that's just your passion. That's just the effect of the positivity you're bringing out, right? And what will happen is that when you throw that in, this, like, the universe, throw it in the air, I guess, whatever you want to call it, right? Put out that energy, that vibe, and you work hard for it. You got to at least take some little action, at least something, right? Some type of forefront. You can't just like sit with your arms crossed, at least for now, unless you're been doing it for so long and you're open and this is like easy for you, then yeah, that's that's kind of like where a lot of people are getting at or trying to get that, because we feel that when we came in this world, this reality, it's supposed to be easy, It's not supposed to be this type of difficult um, thing. Or at least for this part, I know I always say we didn't come in here to make it easy, to because we want it to be easy. This is just trying to separate this type of story for you guys. Um, so I've had some experiences where even with some family members that are doing that, they had this thing where they didn't really know about spiritual, like anything like the law of attraction or anything like that. But when you hear their story, you're like, yeah, like you are doing it. You are doing that in a sense, and woo, this universe is amazing. Like woo, and it's one of those things where they had this passion, to wanting to help others, and then finally, even after a lot of grueling times, grueling like hours, they've already been, let's just say example, like a nurse or something. They've been a nurse for a while too, and the road there was very rough. And then when they're already a nurse, and now they're one to something. But then when they told me this thing, they're like, Ray, I feel like I'm gonna get it. Like I truly feel it. And then they were saying, like, even during like the interview process, like they asked them a question that wasn't even on their mind. When you practice interview questions, right? You don't want to make it too easy, but too flowing, but at least something that you still have in your mind, but not too practiced, right? Not too like rehearsed. Um, but then they asked him a question that was completely not even like something that you practice. It was one of those like, well, yeah, like of course I want to. I love being of a service to others and to help others. And they're like and they truly came and answered that just from their heart. Like, and when I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna get this job. And then like 2-3 hours later, they heard that they were getting this job, and it was like a big deal, like a specific thing. I'm like, fuck yes, yes, that's the universe working. And it was something where like, yes, they're going to get quote unquote paid very well, but it was one of those that wasn't even on their mind. It was like they wanted to help someone. And obviously too, there's other little things going to make their life a little bit easier and other things as well. And I'm going to try to do my best to help them, achieve that too as well. And I'm going to change up my life a little bit so I can help them, with their kids in the morning, at certain times. And I feel that's gonna be great because then I'm gonna be chit chat with my nieces and nephews before they go to school, and I can you know, give them some crap beforehand, have them listen to crazy, cosmic Uncle Ray music, beforehand, before school. So, and that's cool too. I love to be a part of that, be a part of this unit, be part of this energy, and just from my heart, I want to do that, so same with them. They want to do something from their heart. And, I feel like even if it's something small, and I know sometimes it's, well, you don't want to like have negative thoughts of like, oh, if I wonder, I don't know, because you don't want to have that already. You just want to like know that it's going to work, not a belief, not a thinking, but like a knowing about that kind of stuff. And when it comes to these type of things of this, the manifesting stuff, and it really depends on the individual. And I can tell you everything of quote unquote the textbook things that you find online to tell you this, but it's it can only get you so far, because you have to be the one to kind of do the work, like cleansing your mind, do everything what it takes to having that come to your reality, having that come to you have to like do your own work. And I can tell you, like these like laundry list of things that you're supposed to do and you're supposed to feel. I have some where some stuff like that happens. Sometimes it may not, but who knows, if subconsciously I fool myself without knowing, or maybe deep inside, like I don't really believe or know that it's coming, type of thing. um, Yes, because the people are like, well, I want to win the lotto. What am I going to do to win the lotto? And yes, isn't that what everyone would love to do? But then again, too, what are your intentions? For the lotto. Is it just because to make a lot of money and just sit back and just yes, enjoy the life, right? Is it one of those things? Now, I've had different thoughts of wanting to. I had some random thoughts where I have put it out there, right? And I always feel that like with this consciousness, and that's one of those things that you have to learn too. If it's something where it's so huge, but subconsciously, yeah, sorry, I'm about to tell you some shit that it may not happen, that you may not be able to either know the right people, or you may not at least put in that effort to at least try, at least follow the synchronicities or follow whatever it is that that you need to kind of like push you along. So if you're like, I don't know anything about the computer, so how am I going to know about this? But if you know someone, if you don't at least ask, who knows, if at least going to that person, they not be able to help you, but they know someone that does, and you kind of go this and do this. If you don't follow these little things, the universe are like, you know what, he had a great idea, and I don't want to go about how those were brought up, but he had a great idea, and it was thrown out there, and we realized in this universe that this is a great idea for everyone, but maybe he not be able the one to kind of do this, so let's find someone who can, kind of thing, and maybe your idea that you truly had may go to someone else, and that's happened too. So I'm sure you maybe heard me talk about those kind of videos, or where your thoughts come from, or dreams, or certain ideas that you think it's your ideas, but they're really not, will come from. And sometimes how your idea will go to someone else. This happened many of a time. Can't you ever have those ideas where you're like, I thought of that idea first, kind of thing. And oh, all of a sudden here's this. And sorry, I don't need to go into those, but that's happened too. So you may have like an idea that's, say like for me, I'll just go and tell you guys, I wanted to win the lotto. Not just like everyone, for money and whatnot, but that's the obvious, right? I wanted, the real reason why I wanted to win the lotto is to help my family. They've always helped me ever since I was young. And I just want to kind of pay that forward, and I realized I can help them spiritually with other things. And I had been, and if I quote unquote had the money, I would take care of anything for them if they needed it. I mean, of course, they would work hard and they do their own thing. Same with me, I try to work hard to, work for the man and make money and whatnot and pay bills and stuff. But it's like if I had it and they needed it, and I know they were working hard, they're not just someone that's like a slacker. I would just give it to them, because I know they're trying hard. I would do that, and sometimes they do that for me at times when it's like the worst, especially with my situations now. Um, but it's one of those things I wanted that so I could kind of help pay, for them, to pay off their debts, pay off their houses, so that whatever money they wanted to work for is just for them, for their whatever they ever wanted, whatever, if it's materialistic or not. And I wanted to create a center for homeless people. Yes, I'm one of those people. I wanted to create a center for homeless people, to kind of like a rehabilitation type place, to be able for them to even understand a little bit about spirituality, um, not necessarily like a religion, but just being spiritual with themselves, understanding with themselves, maybe to help rehabilitate not a lot of homeless people, if can get certain jobs. Because usually, like, man, like back in the day I was like, get a job, blah 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 blah, and it's kind of a a jerk, somewhat. Not all the time, just sometimes. Trust me, I've had many stories of like not getting treated nicely by bums. Just, I'm sure, like a lot of you, homeless people. But obviously, there's probably a reason why they felt they would the way that they did at that moment, right? Either whether it's craziness, or maybe it's because they just been on the street and they get treated like crap. Anyways, I had an idea out there that I wanted to rehabilitate, in a sense, them, and when they try to get a job, you have to put an address. If you're homeless, what address can you put, right? So, maybe I don't know if they can put it like shelter, addresses on there, because that's not really like a quote unquote home address. So I wanted to be able to have like a rehabilitation center that's like a 3-part center that had like somewhat like a home, that they obviously, there's certain rules and checks that have to be in place, unfortunately, rules, right, and control a little bit, but then learn about spirituality, and then getting them back into the workforce, kind of thing. And I wanted to have that, but it's like I don't have millions of dollars. But what if it was one of those ideas where it's like, well, Ray, you don't necessarily have to have millions of dollars. Maybe at least put forth that effort. Try to, find some people who, or at least the right people that might, and then kind of go that route, and at least just try those breadcrumbs and just see where it happens. Will it happen? In my mind, in this reality, logical mind, like, well, I need X amount of money now, right? Like, then I can do that. But then what if that's not the journey? What if part of the journey is you need to try to find these little steps, little things of life. And then from there, maybe, it'll go around, and then maybe that money will come in from these other avenues, or, I don't know, call investors or whatever, that can come in to do that. I don't know. I have like these not negative thoughts, but like these blockages, saying like, oh, this has to be done this way, this way, this way, this way, and this way, in order for me to happen. But that's part of it. You're not supposed to have these blockages. You're supposed to allow that to come in at whatever means necessary for that to come in. That's why when someone talks about like the law of attraction, about like money, they're saying, well, you never know that you could get like a call saying like, oh yeah, you overpaid on this, there's money, and the money starts coming in. Or if you're the type of person that sees a penny on the ground, you walk away from it. And the universe is like, well, I'm not going to give you any money if you're just going to walk away from a penny. I gave you a penny right there on the ground, and here you are just walking away from it. So why do you feel like you deserve this, if you're just going to walk away from, that penny that I just gave to you, just as a test? There's other little things that, that go around that you don't really think about, when it comes to, in a sense, law of attraction, for other means. And you don't have to use that for money. I was just giving that as hypothetical because I know a lot of people talk about money and stuff. And then of course too, if you're like how I was, when my beginning my spiritual awakening, I'm like, money is the root of all evil. It was greedy people, all this control about money in the banks, and no, trust me, like I said, when you start coming, you start realizing what your ego is, and you develop like a spiritual ego. That's kind of like where that came from, and then when you do this stuff, you can't have that, in a sense. You're not supposed to have this type of, like, you're supposed to kind of just be open-minded, to wherever that money comes from. Some people say like, oh, it could be from a long inheritance that you didn't know about, or some other things, and it's kind of being open to it. So when you set out the intention, you kind of just throw it in the wind and just let it kind of come back to you. Some people who believe in different type of methods, may call it the vortex, depending if you listen to like some like Abraham Hicks type of thing, or if it's I've even heard, man, I think I've heard of some other things too. But if you just throw it out there, in the universe kind of thing, and have it like just come back, and try to just be willing to open that, it can come from anything. It doesn't have to be some type of control, right? So I just felt like I wanted to talk about that for whoever that needed to listen to that, whoever's being stuck on, those type of things to say, like say the law of control, or not law of control, law of attraction. Wow, law of letting go of control. There we go. That should be a law. Um, so it's just one of those things. Just feel like for whatever reason I was supposed to share that with whoever that needed to hear that. So, Cosmic Surfers, I'm gonna end on that note, and just want to say thank you for being you, and I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart, from the inside and out. Just be you. Just truly be you. Whatever that's supposed to mean to you. Okay? You be you.